Alrighty, so we are 1 minute past the hour, so we can go ahead and get started. Everybody, my name is Robert Schuler. I'm marketing manager over here at CableFinder, and I'm also joined by Taylor Brown and Jasmine Pizarro. And today, I would like to welcome you to our CableFinder deep dive. I'm looking forward to running through the platform with you guys. Taylor, our senior account manager and brand ambassador, will be kind of leading the presentation today. And so I will hand it off to her. But of course, if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A section of the webinar, and we will be able to help you out with any questions. But yeah, Taylor, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob. Hello, everyone. So yes, I'm the Senior Account Manager and Brand Ambassador here at CableFinder. So I help support all the various TSDs who are licensing the tool and just really help drive user adoption and partners to become more self-sufficient. So today I've got just a couple slides to go over, just kind of highlighting the benefits of using CableFinder. Also go over how you can access it with your various TSDs as well. And then we'll go through a live demo here. So, go my next slide here. All right, so just taking a look at the carriers that are available in the tool. CableFinder originally started with Comcast, Spectrum, and Cox, but over the years we have continued to add more and more suppliers into the platform. And looking at this here, so any orange check mark is going to be API driven data. So meaning we are calling that carrier directly to either return back serviceability, pricing, or some carriers we can go all the way through order placement and even get order updates back into CableFinder. And then the black check marks are going to be flat files or no APIs available. So that just means they're either sending us a lit building list or a rate card, and then we are going in and manually changing that pricing for them or re-uploading that lit building list. As the carriers do send that over, we definitely prioritize that so that there's no lag in getting that information and getting CableFinder updated. But again, those carriers where you're seeing that orange check mark, that is all happening via API. So as soon as their system is updated, CableFinder is updated. And so we do have this little asterisk down here. So carrier availability is dependent on the TSD. So sometimes the TSDs might not have direct contracts with a particular carrier. And that's why you might see one carrier available in one version of CableFinder versus another version. Each TSD does have their own CableFinder experience. Oftentimes you can access it through a single sign-on depending on who that TSD is. And so if not, or if you don't have access to CableFinder yet, you can reach out to your TSD to learn how you can get access to the tool. All right, so just kind of showing just even some of the carriers. Obviously, these are not all of the carriers, but this is just a little look into what it used to be like before CableFinder and just showing all of the different portals and Excel sheets, configurators, rate cards, everything that you had to do to just get back either, to qualify the address, get back pricing, or even get a contract back. Definitely very complex, lots of different logins to portals. Some of these portals you as a partner don't even have access to, so you're very dependent on your TSD to get back some of this information to you. So with CableFinder, we've been able to streamline all of that and consolidate several of these portals into one platform. So CableFinder. We can pull pricing and promotions. We've seen a decrease in order rejections. We definitely have guardrails up there. If you're, used to maybe using the Comcast configurator, it is a little complex. And so with CableFinder, we've uploaded all of their packages in the tool so that you can, just select that package and it configures everything for you. For some of the carriers, you can go all the way through order placement, meaning you're typing your order into CableFinder, and when you're hitting place order or you're uploading that contract, it is placing it directly into the carrier system. So no one has to go and, there's no delay. You're placing your orders in real time. No one has to go and, pivot into a portal and place that order. We've got a DocuSign integration. We've recently had some DocuSign enhancements as well that I'll go over. For some of the TSDs, we have a CRM order integration. So, for example, if you're doing it in CableFinder, you might also then see it in the TSDs, RPM or Salesforce or something like that. You can launch site surveys. Again, generate contracts, and really it's just kind of that speed to order. I like to say you can place your orders as fast as you can type sometimes. And then just to show you one, particular carrier that we do a full order placement for. So Spectrum Business, you can, or on the coax side, you can go all the way through order placement. They don't have paperwork. So in CableFinder, you can place your order. So just kind of looking back before CableFinder, I know this is a little complex, and that's because it was. You have to figure out, qualify the address. Then, maybe you logged into PartnerLink, then you have to look at a rate card, then you have to send an email, then you have to wait for a response, and all of that, just takes a lot of time using a lot of different portals. But with CableFinder, we have been able to consolidate all of that. So you're able to log into CableFinder, you can check serviceability, you can pull the pricing, and you can place the order. Once you place that order, it just lets the TSD know that, hey, there's an order. And then it also is building that directly into Spectrum's buy flow. So you'll still get all the notifications, all the O2 notifications. You'll be notified when the order installs. All of that is automated through CableFinder. All right, I'm actually going to come back to releases and roadmap after I go through a live demo here. So
Hey,
let
Taylor,
me
we
just,
actually have a quick
oh,
question.
sure, of course.
So do you know if we will be able to generate contracts with Optimum? Also, do you know if Frontier Communications will be on CableFinder?
Okay, so Optimum, they have, so for their coax side, there is no paperwork, so it's just place order. It places the order directly into their system. On the fiber side, it is a request today. So once you hit request, that does notify Optimum, and then they will generate the paperwork for you from there. I don't know if we will be able to fully automate the fiber paperwork in the tool, but I can certainly find out for you. And then for Frontier, we are not currently talking to them. Were they acquired by someone? I'm questioning if they were acquired by someone now. I'm drawing a
Can't
blank on that.
remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm kind of also talking out loud, but maybe not. Maybe I'm getting them confused with someone else, but we're not currently talking to them, but we certainly can look at getting a discovery call with them and getting them added into the tool.
Thanks, Taylor.
Of course. Okay, so here on CableFinder, so I'm just in a generic experience right now, but again, each TSD does have their own CableFinder that you can access. You do have to use a TSD to run your business through in order to get access to CableFinder. Again, reach out to your TSD if you don't yet have access to the tool today. Oftentimes it is just a single sign-on, so you don't even need another set of credentials. So this is the home page here, but if you are going through a single sign-on experience, it will likely take you to our serviceability page to start. So let me just show you here how I can, type in an address. We are integrated with Google Places and USPS. So as I start to type in an address, it will kind of start to find those addresses for me here. I'm just going to click this first one, and it's going to standardize and format that address for me. As I click search, it is calling those carrier APIs to return back these serviceability results. So you can see Comcast is still loading here, same with AT&T Wireless, but just going through our serviceability card here, we do have these filters. So if you are, looking for a specific service, you can toggle those other ones off, but just to start, we'll show dedicated, then best efforts, then our wireless category. Going through some of the cards here. So we've got the carrier listed, and then you'll get back some, some some color descriptions here too. So we've got green, yellow, orange, and red. If you hover over this here, it will give you that serviceability description. And as you can see here, this is a good example to show all the different colors, but we'll always show green first, then yellow, then orange, then red. If we have multiple carriers that are coming back green, we'll essentially just show whoever API comes back the fastest, we'll show first. So if all three of these were to come back green, whoever API came back first, we'll show first, then second, then third. Is really how we're just prioritizing that if they're all coming back in the same color. Otherwise, it will also show this anticipated time frame to install, the distance if it's available, max speeds, and then the information down here can vary by, product type. Comcast is giving us this minimum MRC estimate for their, build costs, any technologies that are available. For Spectrum, you might see the building type if it's, on-net, near-net, auto build, something like that. So these, information down here can kind of change, but otherwise, we've tried to create a very standardized experience for qualifying that address. Now, down here, you can see configure pricing and request pricing. So we're going to show request pricing for any address that is coming back red. Essentially, this just takes you to a form that you can fill out. You can provide any additional information that you need to submit your request, and this goes off to your TSD directly, and then they can find those pricing solutions for you. You'll also get that similar experience if maybe the carrier is only in there for serviceability. So let's take, Dobson Fiber, for example. We don't have their pricing in here, so even if they do come back green, you'll see this request pricing just because that's as far as they have their services in CableFinder. But otherwise, if the address is green, yellow, or orange, you can come in to configure that pricing. We did just recently launch Lumen and Brightspeed in the tool about a month ago, so you can go all the way through order placement for those two new carriers in the tool as well. So for today, I'm going to show off, we'll do Lumen actually. So I'll come in here to configure my pricing. And I can select my term here. It is defaulting to that 3-year term. I'll turn on my fiber, and then they've got a couple different options here for speed. So fast E, gig E, 10 gig E. As I toggle these services on, it will then produce a shopping cart for me. All right, here's my shopping cart. Any additional customizations I can add on here. Maybe I want to add on a managed router, I can do so. And then now I can come in to either generate my quote or go straight into contract generation. So I will just go into contract generation, but it will ask me to label my quote. We do have a quotes and contracts library that you can go in and access your opportunities at any time. So just to keep things simple, I will label everything as test in here. And then this will take me to my kind of customer gathering information. So I did use a profile that I had already created, so it did fill in a lot of this information for me. So, as you can see, I'll go through another carrier here in a second, but as I go through here, we're collecting some, information, basic information for the carrier that they need to place this order. Some of the information might change depending on, the carrier and what information that they need, but we work very closely with each provider to make sure that we are collecting all of that necessary information. If you do forget to fill something out, we do have those guardrails in here, just to make sure that there's no, post delays. They don't have to go back and forth for any of that information if it is required. All right, for Lumen specifically, they do have this sales exit criteria here. So you'll see this across many providers. If you do have, a partner sales ID, to enter it here just so that they can get that tagged. On the commission side, any billing account numbers, anything like that, we've got that fully integrated here into CableFinder. This example here, they, need some of that handoff information. customer information. We do have these radio buttons as well. So if it is all the same, you can use those and it will just carry down that information for us just to keep things simple. Any delivery instructions here. So you can select your requested delivery date, provide any order notes in your, delivery instructions as well. Here on our confirmation page, I can also provide any order notes. This is going right over to Lumen since we do have full order placement with Lumen. So anything that you're entering here, you're just letting Lumen know about that order. And then here, you can generate your contract via PDF, or best practice, we are integrated with DocuSign. So once you send out a DocuSign, you have the capabilities to go back in and maybe you need to resend it, change the signer, or completely void it. We do have those capabilities available now in the tool as well. For today, I'm just going to keep it simple and generate my PDF just to show you the example here. So this is Lumen contract, everything they're using internally on their paper. We do have CableFinder watermarks at the bottom of each contract. So created by CableFinder, along with this unique CableFinder quote ID. That you can look up in your quotes and contracts library if you need to. Specifically for Lumen, they do have this PCAT ID, so they will need this to continue through to place this order. So be sure that you are uploading the paperwork that is coming out of CableFinder. Be sure to upload that same paperwork and not like a different contract that you had previously created, because they do need this PCAT number to place this order. Here's our signature page, and then this is our sales exit criteria. So just again, preventing some of that back and forth, providing Lumen all of that information that they need to then go in and place this order. So I'm going to pretend that I have my signed contract. So my customer signed it either via the PDF, or if you use DocuSign. So next step is to come back in and upload your contract. And so this is the case for any provider that generates paperwork, whether they have full order integration or not. Always come back in and upload that paperwork. What it does on the back end might vary, but for you, it's a very consistent experience, meaning it generates the paperwork, you come in and upload it. Now it will either send it directly to the carrier, CCing your TSD, or it will just send it to your TSD if the carrier doesn't have full order integration, and then the TSD will pivot and actually place that order. So this is my quotes and contracts library, as I was mentioning. So I got here by going to my searches and quotes, and then my pricing quotes history. So this is all the opportunities that I've done. Obviously, they're all tests in here. Here's that quote ID. So up here, you can, start to type in and it will search those opportunities for you. You can also search by customer name, quote name, provider, all of that. And then here on my actions, I can re-download my quote if I need to, re-download my unsigned contract. This is where I can also upload my signed contract. Or maybe I didn't send out a DocuSign the first time and now the customer says, actually, can you send me a DocuSign? You could come in here after the fact and send that DocuSign if you need to. If you did send out that DocuSign, let me see if I have I don't think I do. If you did send out a DocuSign, that's where you would see some of these changes in here, like void, resend, or change signer once you sent that initial record. So for right now, I'm just ready to upload my signed contract. So you can drag and drop or click to browse. Let me find my Lumen test here. So as I'm uploading this contract, it is looking for that CableFinder watermark to match it up to this opportunity. And then because we have full order integration, this is sending Lumen an email directly, CCing my TSD if I were to be in that TSD environment. And then that is your order submission. So no one has to, your TSD doesn't have to pick up that order and place it with Lumen. They're getting it directly. And if they do need any additional information for this order, they're just going to respond to that email chain. And so that everything stays in one spot. If I were to refresh this page here, that's where I can see some of these order statuses as well. So you can see here now it says order submitted, and that's pretty much just saying I have uploaded my contract. So if you're not sure if you did upload a contract or not, one, you should get an email with that confirmation, but two, this is another good place to come in and just check to see, it will either say order submitted if it did fully place that order, or you'll see orders submitted to TSD, and that just means that the TSD has it, and then they're going to go pivot and place that order now. So let me pull up my email here so I can show you an example of what the email will look like here. It takes just a minute, but while I'm waiting for that email here, do we have any questions that came through?
We did have one, so that was perfect timing, Taylor. So from Kimberly, if we generate a quote, are we able to go back in and generate the contract if the customer accepts the quote?
Unfortunately, not at this time. It is on our roadmap to be able to add in that functionality. But for today, you will have to start over at serviceability. So if you do just generate a quote, you would have to come back in and start over at the serviceability page to then just go through the contract generation aspect of it. But it is on our roadmap to be able to, just kind of pick up where you left off.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course. All right, so here's the email that it sent me. So contract uploaded for that quote ID. So, thank you for submitting your Lumen order. It CC'd, well, this is just a development environment, but it will go to your TSD. It will CC you as the CableFinder user, and then also going to CableFinder at lumen.com. So this is your order submission. It's giving you a copy of that signed contract. And then here's all the order details that you had filled out on that customer gathering form so that they have it and your TSD also has it. Now, if this were to be for someone, let's say Zayo, they don't have full order integration, you could still come in and upload your contract and you'll get a very similar email for Zayo. And essentially it just won't CC Zayo, it will just CC your TSD, and then they'll go in and finish placing that order for you. But you'll still get this email confirming that you've uploaded that signed contract. All right, so back into CableFinder. So that is the experience if any carrier has paperwork. Now, there are some carriers that don't have paperwork where you can still place your order. For example, we've got Spectrum SMB and then also AT&T ABF, since they no longer require the LOA. We've got full order placement integration for them. So I will actually demo AT&T now. So let me go in, type in my address here, and we'll hit search, and it's going to display a very similar search screen as what we saw before, just with the different carriers. So while we're waiting for this to load here, my my ABF is going to be listed down here under my best efforts. Wait for this to load. So again, this for AT&T ABF, it is full order integration. So even though there's no paperwork, once I hit my place order, that is placing it directly into AT&T's B2B system, and then you'll get all those order confirmations as well. So I will come in here to configure my pricing. You can see here, these all came back green. AT&T and ACC took a little bit longer to load. That's why Spectrum came back as the, showing first. But I'll come in here to configure my pricing. All right, so while that's loading, you can kind of see here in the background, it's asking for a partner sales ID. I'm an admin, that's why it's giving me the option to enter this. But if you have sold AT&T before and you do have an AT&T sales ID, we should have that loaded into your profile. You can always double check with your TSD as well before you go in and place the order, just to make sure that we do have a sales ID listed for you under your profile. So in that case, you won't have to enter in your sales ID. We'll just already have it hard coded onto your profile. All right, so before it's asking me to continue, I do have to provide a suite or unit number. So you'll see this pop up here to where you have to further qualify the address down to the suite level for AT&T and then also Spectrum. And so in this case, this is very similar to their B2B system, to where these are not all required to be filled out, but if you do have, a specific suite that you know of, you can certainly enter it there. Or let me see if I can get out of here. You can also bypass the address. So that is only if you can't qualify it down to the suite level. Just know if you are bypassing the address, it will require post-sale validation. Maybe you do know that that the suite is there. Maybe it's just not listed in their system yet. You can bypass, and then in the notes field, I can show you to where you can request that suite level to be added. Their team will create the nav ticket, and then they can go through and continue placing that order. Hopefully this will load soon here. There we go. Okay, so here's that partner sales ID again. You won't even have this option as a user, so we'll just bypass that. And then you can see here, VoIP is actually grayed out, so I can't order standalone VoIP. I do have to add on internet first if I want to add on any voice services. Now you can see I can add that on if I need to. So I selected my speed. It is giving me a discount here, so 1 month free. So we do have all the carriers, promotions, and discounts loaded into the tool. You'll see those highlighted here in green. And then if I want to add on any static IPs, I can do so, and it will update my shopping cart in real time for me here. Now I'm ready to go in and simply just place my order. So I'll label my quote here. So see, I have all these different tests listed here. This is our customer profile feature. So if you do create a contract and enter in all of that customer information the first time, and maybe you have to recreate the paperwork or you have to create a second order for them, once you create that initial record, you can come in here as you start to type in. It will filter out those options that are available, and then you can select that option, and that's where it will fill in most of the information for you on the customer gathering page, just so that it's less data entry for you if you do have to recreate the order or anything like that, or create a second order. Hopefully here. It's going extra slow today. Well, I have to try a different address here. Let me try one more time. If not, I will pivot. There we go. Okay, so here's my customer information again, filling in a lot of this information for me. Actually, apologize. This doesn't look quite right, and that's because I am in a dev environment. They're building out the AT&T ADI ordering. So there is some additional information here that it's asking for. So let me see if I can pivot here. I don't know. I might have to do a different example. I apologize. Let's see. That will take me to my page here. Billing. Okay, so for the billing information, or the business type, we've got corporation, LLC, partnership, and sole proprietorship. So depending on some of that information, the business type that you're selecting, and they ask for some different information, like, you might see a social security number, or maybe it will be tax ID, something like that. That information we're not storing in CableFinder. It is that highly sensitive information we're not storing in here. But we'll save like emails, phone numbers, stuff like that. But we won't save like a social security number. So that will be a field that you'll have to enter each time. Okay, so here on our confirmation page, you can see here AT&T does not require any paperwork, so they removed the need for an LOA, and so that's where you'll see here just simply place order. So as I hit my place order here, I can select my installation date if I need to, that request, and then fully place my order. And again, I apologize, this wasn't the ideal experience just because this is a dev environment that I am in right now, just so I didn't place that live order. But you will then receive an email, one from CableFinder, just confirming all of those ordering details, and then one directly from AT&T, just showing, hey, we've received your order. If they were able to accommodate that desired installation date, they'll say that your order has been scheduled to be installed on this date, or you might see that it's pending. You'll get all of those order notifications directly into your email. Your TSD will also be CC'd on there as well, just so that they are, staying in the know of all of those orders as well. And so that's kind of the experience that you'll see, either if there's paperwork or no paperwork. Sometimes you'll see like a request contract. We do have that in here for, several different carriers. Let me pull up my screen here. So yeah, you'll see this contract request. So for AT&T ADI, on that confirmation page, instead of place order or generate the paperwork, you'll see the request. And so what that does is that just sends over all the customer email information over to your TSD, and then they'll pivot into AT&T system and get that paperwork for you. Same with Earthlink. You'll see that contract request. That actually goes directly to Earthlink, and then they'll send you the DocuSign right out of, they'll get that notification to send you that contract via DocuSign. So just going over, excuse me, some of our releases and roadmap. So recent releases, as I showed, we did have the DocuSign enhancements. We do have some, RPM and Salesforce integrations available with some of the TSDs, not yet all of them, but we are working on those full integrations with some of the other TSDs as well. Starlink by Pulsar, that is available. It is not available for all TSDs, so be sure to check with your TSD to see if it's available for them. And again, that really just comes down to whether that TSD has a direct contract with Pulsar. I know you can order Starlink through different carriers, so that is just the one that we have available in CableFinder. And then we did just launch Brightspeed and Lumen for full order placement as well. Obviously uploading that signed contract to initiate that ordering process. And then coming up on our roadmap, Cox CFI, their shared fiber. We should hopefully be getting that launched here very soon. And then a rate card quote. I actually might be able to show this one off to you guys, just to give you a little sneak peek of it. Let me see here. So the rate card quote, we're super excited about. We've been working on it for a little while now, but we did get some feedback from users. So if you do have any feedback, please send it over, because we do, take it into consideration and make it happen if we certainly can. So we did get feedback that users wanted to come in and generate a rate card. So we're still finalizing some of it. So don't look at these exact numbers in here. It's just kind of dummy data in here. But essentially, you'll be able to come in, and if you want 1, 2, and 3 year for, different speeds, maybe you want to add on, showing static IPs or, different other options available, or maybe you just want to show everything. You can come in here, select all, scroll down, generate your rate card. We'll still label our quote here just so we have it if you need to re-access it. And then this will create a rate card. So we're working on integrating this for all carriers, but essentially this is what it will look like. It will go out on one singular PDF, and then you'll be able to send this out to your customer. So we're super excited for that to come out. We are also working on a new design to our quotes as well. So I can show you, give you a sneak peek into that as well. Let me do this one here. Do Comcast again. So this is what our new quotes will look like too. Just kind of just giving it a new look, package detail, all of that in there. So back to our roadmap here. Add to quote. So that's another one that we're working on. In CableFinder today, it is a very singular experience, single speed, single term, one PDF for each thing that you're doing. But this our add to quote feature, you'll be able to essentially save a record. So if you want to show a quote, with 500 meg, and then you want to show a quote with 700 meg, or one with static IP, one without static IP, anything like that. Each time you're kind of saving that record and adding to the quote, it will put all of those options just on one PDF for you, multiple pages, so that you can send those out so they can see all of their options rather than, generating a quote, starting over at serviceability, generating a quote. So that one we are super excited for as well. And then our pricing quotes history, as we are onboarding, different suppliers, and you can see that the road is a little bit different for each one. So we're finding it is getting a little confusing to remember, hey, for Segra, it's just serviceability, but for Lumen, you can place your orders, and it is getting a little confusing. So we are adding in kind of a process, like a pizza tracker, if you will. So you can see exactly where you are in the process and what you still have to do. So maybe you generated your contract, it's going to show you next step, upload your contract, or maybe they don't have paperwork. So you're going to see that your process is now complete. There's nothing left for you to do. So we're working on that as well, and just kind of redesigning this page here, just making it a little bit more user friendly, giving you a little bit more visibility into your actual orders. We're hoping to also get to the point where you can request an order update from here, either going to the carrier or your TSD, just less emails, less back and forth, trying to just create one system that you can use to track, place your own orders and then also track those orders. All right, and next carrier as well, AT&T ADI ordering, as I mentioned today. It's just that contract request, but we're looking to fully integrate the ordering aspect in there as well. And then any resources. So on our website, just cablefinder.net, we do have user guides available either by process or by carrier. So if you want to learn how you can, do your Starlink, for example, you can go in there, look up Starlink, and it will give you a step-by-step guide and how you can place those orders. We do also have our LinkedIn page, so we post on there any new carrier that we're onboarding, any new feature available, additional webinars that are coming up. So if you're not yet following us on LinkedIn, please do so, just so you can stay updated. And then any training requests, you can reach out to myself or Jasmine, who's on here as well. If you do want a custom, one-on-one demo or anything like that, or maybe we didn't go over a carrier today that you'd like to see more of, please feel free to reach out to us. But if you do have, any questions in general about the platform, or maybe you're seeing discrepancies, you're getting an error message, something like that, we do have a dedicated support inbox. It's just support@cablefinder.net. We have a dedicated person who manages that inbox that can either work with the carrier and figure out why we're showing a discrepancy, or just provide any additional resources that you may need. And that is about it. Did we have any additional questions that came in?
Yes, we did have another one that came in. Jason asked, did you say that we can add phone lines with AT&T?
You can, yeah. So they did remove their POTS from CableFinder, and I think in general they're really just trying to get away from POTS, but you can order VoIP. So let me see. I know a little bit ago it did take a little bit of time to load, so hopefully I can get in there. But once you add on the internet service, you can add on VoIP. So again, you can't do it standalone, so you can't just order VoIP out of CableFinder. Let me log in here. It's loading right now, but once you do, select those voice services, it will ask you some additional information on that customer page for, adding any of those, phone lines, anything like that. Once you make that selection, it will ask you to confirm some of those additional details. And then if there are discounts available, if you do add on any voice services, those will also show up in the shopping cart as well.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that being said, I don't think there are any other questions right now, but of course, if anything comes up, as Taylor just mentioned, support at cablefinder.net and reach out to them. They'll be able to help you out with any questions. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for being able to join. Are you still running through this here, Taylor, or are you?
I think I'm good. I'll put my email in here as well in case anyone needs, a further demo or needs to reach out about anything. Please feel free. Let me just put it in there. Reach out to me as well. Or Jasmine, I'll put hers in here too, and we'd be happy to assist.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you so much for attending this morning. I know everybody's got very busy schedules and all of that. But yeah, if you have any questions or need anything, feel free to reach out. But if not, have a good rest of your day and have a good week.
Thank you all. Bye bye.